From career-ending allegations of hiring a registered vendor, hosting illegal lotteries, and faking his videos, it's safe to say that MrBeast is currently one of the most hated creators on the platform, and his lack of response or accountability for months only made things worse. However, MrBeast has finally ended his silence and conducted a 2.5-hour interview with commentary YouTuber Oompaville, where he shared his side of the story and revealed some extremely disturbing things. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be diving into MrBeast's controversial response to the many allegations that have been undermining his reputation and legacy. Quick disclaimer, this video will be entirely focused on his response specifically, as I have another video in the works looking deeper into the allegations and uncovering or debunking them with real evidence. The Delaware controversy remains one of the most damning allegations leveled against MrBeast, marking the point where even some of his defenders began to question his actions. The accusation stemmed from MrBeast hiring a registered offender and allegedly giving him the name Delaware as an inside joke tied to his criminal background. In his response, MrBeast refuted these claims, stating that the man's nickname was Delaware long before joining his team, and that it had no connection to his criminal record.
The big one that, videos with tens of millions of views collectively, claiming I called a guy Delaware because he committed a crime in Delaware, that is not true. His name was just Delaware. I didn't, call him Delaware to make fun of him or anything.
To support this, MrBeast provided evidence showing the man had already worked at Best Buy prior to his employment, and was already using the name Delaware at that time. In fact, footage from one of MrBeast's older videos, titled "I gave $20,000 to random homeless people," shows the man wearing a Best Buy name tag with Delaware printed on it.
Guys, I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. I love what you guys are doing.
Say anything to him?
If anyone's never watched, you need to. It's awesome. Everything they do is for a great cause. MrBeast. I want my free shirt.
While this clears up the nickname's origin, it does not excuse the hiring decision itself. MrBeast explained that, at the time, he was 19 years old, his channel had just surpassed 1 million subscribers, and he was operating more like a casual YouTube team than a professional business. He admitted that background checks were not conducted, which led to unknowingly hiring the criminal.
What people are envisioning is completely different than what actually happened. Yes, I did hire him, but for the context around it, I hired him when I was 19, so I was a teenager, and this is kind of leans a little bit into what we were talking before. This is back when it was just a couple of my friends from high school, my mom. My videos were getting bigger. I needed more help. Probably should have gone on some site and hired people who had production experience, but instead I walked into my local Best Buy and I just hired multiple people. Obviously, when I was a teenager, I didn't know what a background check was. I hired a couple people there that wanted to help me make videos. One of them was the person named Delaware.
This defense, however, has been criticized for downplaying the severity of hiring someone with a criminal background, especially involving minors, given the channel's younger audience. To make matters worse, former team member Jake the Viking claimed on Twitter that MrBeast and his mother knew about Delaware's background before hiring him, a claim that MrBeast firmly denied in the interview.
I did not know he was a registered vendor. There's a rumor that's gone around that said that he sat me and my mom down and told us. Obviously, I don't remember that happening. And when I read that tweet, the first thing I did was I called my mom and I was like, hey, did this happen? Because someone's claiming this happened. My mom said, I would have literally quit or honestly probably shut the business down before I ever let my teenage son hire a registered vendor knowingly, which...
Following this, MrBeast would take accountability for hiring him in the first place and express his regret for doing so.
I take accountability. Yes, if I could go back in time, I would tell teenage me, hey, you're supposed to do background checks. 19-year-old me, he stared at retention charts all day. He obsessed over YouTube videos. He didn't know anything about running a business.
While MrBeast cleared the air regarding the Delaware situation with clear evidence and accountability, the allegations didn't stop there. Another accusation against MrBeast revolved around a poster displayed in his home, which viewers noticed was created by the controversial artist Shadman. The poster featured a cartoon girl holding a fidget spinner and a gun, and it was reportedly hung by Ava Chris Tyson, MrBeast's former employee and roommate. When asked about the situation during his interview with Oompaville, MrBeast explained that he had no knowledge of Shadman or his reputation when the poster was put up.
Back then, I used to have a bunch of anime posters up on the wall. I just set a foundation for context. We used to have a bunch of anime posters and things like that on our wall in the house. And one day, Ava put up this poster that was an animated character.
Jimmy clarified that the poster wasn't purchased or commissioned by him, nor did he give it much thought at the time, because it blended in with other anime posters around the house, including ones from shows like Naruto and Code Geass.
I wish I could give more details. I mean, this was so long ago. Obviously, I don't know the exact thoughts going through my head, but I just remember, I agree, it is a little bit of a weird poster, but I also think I had Naruto posters up, or I had Code Geass posters, random animes I used to watch, and I never reversed image search and Googled, oh, who made this Code Geass anime poster that's sitting on the wall or whatever. I don't, your first instincts when you just see a poster is not to just go, who made that, and deep dive them. So
are they a pedophile?
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I agree. It's her buying it is very weird, and obviously.
MrBeast also acknowledged, in hindsight, that the poster was an odd choice, especially given what he now knows about Shadman's work and reputation.
Yeah, that's fair, because I also, after all this stuff, I didn't know who Shadman was. I've heard of him a little bit on Twitter and shit, but I didn't know. Total ignorance there, so.
What makes the statement of not knowing who Shadman is questionable is the fact that MrBeast had engaged with him on Twitter. However, it could be the case that he didn't know just how evil the artist was, or is just trying to play it off with ignorance. After addressing the Shadman poster controversy, MrBeast tackled another major allegation, this time from YouTuber CoffeeZilla, who raised concerns about potential shady crypto dealings tied to MrBeast. CoffeeZilla released a video titled "Investigating MrBeast," exposing alleged insider trading linked to a crypto wallet reportedly associated with MrBeast. According to the claims, MrBeast's wallet showed activity that raised suspicions of unethical behavior such as insider trading. MrBeast, however, explained that the wallet wasn't managed by him, but by a professional crypto fund he entrusted to handle all transactions. He clarified that his decision to have it managed by someone else was intentional. With his schedule packed and limited knowledge of cryptocurrency, he didn't want to risk making mistakes or unintentionally breaking the law.
The gist of this report was, Jimmy is too stupid to make this kind of money, therefore it must be insider trading. This is his wallet, clearly there was insider trading because he never would have been able to make this kind of money. When in reality, which is what I told Coffee in that statement we gave him, it was managed by a fund. So I wasn't the one managing the wallet. I've never had access to that wallet. I've never done the buying and selling on that wallet. There's an actual professional who's written books on crypto and lived and breathes crypto every second of the day managing it. So most of the allegations there are just answered by I am too stupid to do that. That's why a fund was managing it, you know what I mean?
Jimmy also pointed to the sheer volume of transactions associated with the wallet, thousands in total, as proof that he couldn't have been manually handling it. He noted that many of the trades occurred when he was clearly unavailable, like during video shoots or plane rides.
That kind of time. I'm sure you could probably even look at it and see days where I was maybe in solitary confinement or doing a video where I didn't even have access to a computer and there's trading.
True.
So for the conspiracy theorists that think I'm lying and using the fund as a cover up, there's gotta be some way where you could just figure that out, or I was on a plane ride or something.
While MrBeast didn't specify the name of the fund or exact instances of his unavailability during trades, his explanation does provide insight into how the allegations may have been a misunderstanding. That being said, MrBeast contradicted this stance when he was previously on a podcast with Logan Paul, where he shared the story of getting a phone call from Gary Vee about a particular NFT he should buy, which he even mentioned buying publicly on Twitter. This would also be explained by MrBeast.
Like I said on that podcast, called me and a bunch of other people, said CryptoPunks were the next big thing. I thought it was pretty crazy, but the first thing I did right after that is just called the guy in charge of the fund who invested my money and it's other people's money as well, and just said, hey, Gary Vee seemed very passionate about these punks. You should look into it. If it makes sense, buy it. And so, he did the research, picked what punks to buy, bought them. I don't even truthfully know how to buy punks. I've never bought one, me personally.
Okay.
Like I've said, I don't have access to that wallet. So, in other transparency, that's kind of high level how it went. But, if he was oh, this is a shit investment, then he wouldn't have bought them. So he was the one who was doing the buying and selling and managing things.
Okay. But you did make some decisions to buy or sell in the Wu-Tang Fund.
Well, Well, I mean, yeah.
Another claim against MrBeast involves the usage of CGI in his videos, sparking accusations that his content is faked, staged, and misleading. Critics pointed to certain scenes, including a claim that a hospital was digitally edited into a video to give the illusion that MrBeast built it himself. When addressing these allegations, MrBeast admitted that CGI is used in a small percentage of his videos, but clarified that it's only used to enhance certain visual elements, not to deceive viewers.
I mean, maybe like 0.1% of my shots. Like if we have like a background that like doesn't look too cool, like it's just like black, but it looks a little off, we'll just like darken it out in post. Like that's like majority of what we do, or sometimes we'll extend a set. But I was thinking like when we do, because we pour millions of dollars into these videos. We build massive sets. Like we go through so much links to make these huge videos. And the last thing I want is people to be like questioning whether or not things are CGI. I mean, like the sets we build are fucking crazy, man. Like it's wild. Like you should come see the like behind the scenes of it. I mean, sometimes we spend 100 days just literally building one room for one shot of one video.
That's insane.
To further address transparency, MrBeast revealed that he's considering adding timestamps in video descriptions to indicate when CGI is used, or overlaying a special Beast logo on CGI-enhanced elements.
Potentially, I don't know, this is the first time I'm saying it publicly, like timestamping in the description when we do.
That's interesting.
Yeah, or like having some like gimmicky thing where like whatever we do, we like put like a little Beast logo on it, so it's like a thing that if people wanted to identify, they could. I mean, I'm down to figure something out. I mean, we just don't really use it that much. It's just like a thing few and far between. But what I really don't want is people to not be able to trust my videos just because occasionally I want to make a wall blacker, or like I want to extend a set a little bit just to make it look cooler and like you feel in tune with it. Because what we do on its own is insane, you know what I mean? Like we don't need it, you know what I mean?
One specific example fueling the CGI criticism was an accusation that MrBeast used CGI to make it seem like he built a hospital in a Beast Philanthropy video. Jimmy admitted that there was an editing error in the video's opening, where a hospital was digitally removed from the shot, meant to show the before state of the location.
Honestly, truthful, dumb mistake. At the start of one of our Beast Philanthropy videos, they were trying to show what this like building looked like in the past. And in the past, that hospital wasn't there, so they removed it in the editing. Which and this was just like a small part of this isn't even like the point of the video was that we built this hospital or whatever. There was just a shot at the beginning, but some people saw that and like thought we did build it, which is not the intention. And so it's just a dumb mistake. Like trust me, when I saw that, I talked to the editors. I was like, come on, like I have 100 editors, and obviously we have a bunch of different channels and things like that. So it's hard for me to like speak with all of them, but it was just truthfully a silly mistake. We never said we built that hospital or anything, but I could see how some people might perceive that we were trying to like give off that we were.
While MrBeast took accountability for this error, he also addressed the structure and mission of the Beast Philanthropy channel and the negative effect it had.
My YouTube channel, how do I say this where it's like I'm not trying, like, is literally owned by a 501c3. Like it's a YouTube channel that is a nonprofit, which is crazy. Like as far as I know, that's the only one. And Beast Philanthropy does so much good. And like that, the only reason people, this is what's funny, because like to the people like trying to call me evil and say we fake philanthropy, the only reason anyone even knows any of this is because we actually did a behind the scenes video on that video. So like clearly I wasn't aware of this because we did BTS and we were the ones who revealed this information. You know what I mean? So like if we were trying to hide things, like we wouldn't have done BTS on that video. That's how people got this information. So it's just like a little mistake, but it's sad because now people are using that to point at our Beast Philanthropy channel, which does a lot. I mean, it will just scroll through the videos. I mean, whether we're building schools in Africa or, giving electricity to remote villages, or we're giving clothes to people who don't have it, or we're feeding people. I mean, it does a lot of really good projects. Now, truthfully, that channel is struggling to get brand deals because of all the slander on it, because everyone, has convinced advertisers that the videos are fake and that it doesn't actually do philanthropy. And it's like, it does. And just like one little editing mistake on one of dozens of videos,
MrBeast also responded to allegations made by former contestant and employee Jake Weddle, who described his experience in one of MrBeast's challenges as inhumane, even using the term war crimes. The accusation was stemmed from a challenge where Jake was tasked in staying in solitary confinement for as long as possible to win a cash prize. When addressing the allegations, MrBeast first detailed the setup and the rules of the challenge.
We built a room in our studio. And then the challenge was every day you live in this room, you win $10,000. and then it was like kind of like a white padded room. There's like a pool table, a bed in there, bunch of other items, blah, blah.
MrBeast emphasized that each contestant experiences challenges differently, citing his 100-day isolation video as an example. In that challenge, participants were offered the option to turn the lights off at night in exchange for a portion of their winnings. However, the contestants declined, saying it wasn't an issue for them.
100% how something's gonna affect someone, right? So similar to the Weddle video, I just wanna lay the foundation before we go in specifically to that. Similar to that, we also did a video where we put did you see the video where we put 2 people in a room, Bailey and Susie, 100 days trapped together? So one thing that Weddle struggled with was the lights being on, and he mentioned that in the video. But Bailey and Susie, on day 20 of 100-day trap together, I offered to turn the lights off for part of their prize pool. And they said no. And like the lights wasn't, I mean, I'm sure it was difficult, but it wasn't like that big of a difficulty for them. And so it's like something for them that's not that big of a difficulty for other people can be, you know, challenging and hard. And like what I'm trying to say is you never know how someone's gonna react to something, right? It's impossible to fully predict. And so that's one of these variables of these challenges, which is why we give people the ability to quit, you know what I mean? Or to leave at any point. And so in his video, you know, he went 11 days, won $110,000. Right? I believe it was 11 days. Yes.
Jake Weddle, however, struggled with the room challenge after 11 days. MrBeast explained that his team turned off the lights for Jake and even brought in a psychiatrist to ensure his well-being. Ultimately, the challenge was cut short, and Jake walked away with $110,000.
And then he decided to quit on that day. And, you know, he mentions this in his video, like around day 11 or 12. I don't know what the day is off the top of my head, but he was struggling, and so we did turn off the lights. We sent a psychiatrist in there to check in on him, and we were like, yeah, he's not doing too well, and we ended the challenge, and we paid him. Didn't go long enough where we got a video, so we didn't end up uploading it. But I think the big thing is just that's why we allow people to leave these challenges.
Despite the money won, the footage of the challenge was never uploaded because the event didn't even last long enough to make a compelling video. MrBeast later reached out to Jake after he appeared on Dogpack's video discussing his experience, offering to help in any way he could, ultimately giving Jake an additional $50,000.
Mental stress with that video or anything, and is there any way I can help? And I ended up, you know, he seemed like he really needed some financial help, so I ended up sending him $50,000 completely off camera or anything. I mean, he talked about it publicly so people know, but yeah, I just wanted to make sure he was good.
It's safe to say that the loudest voice speaking out about MrBeast was former employee Dawson French, better known as Dogpack404, who created 3 viral videos exposing and platforming ex-MrBeast employees such as Jake Weddle to speak out against MrBeast. Since publishing his videos, creators like Soggy Cereal have since spent months investigating and debunking large amounts of the allegations and claims made against MrBeast, resulting in Dogpack's credibility being questioned and his motives of posting the videos appearing as revenge. This was even more the case after there was a leaked audio from when he was fired, where it appeared Dogpack was desperate to keep his job and genuinely wanted to work at MrBeast despite what his videos portray.
He also made life-ruining allegations against Lokoya Hill, who was the person that made the decision to fire Dogpack. Here's an audio clip from the leaked firing interview at Beast.
I'm Lokoya, I'm our CEO. Part of my job is that you're pushing back on everything that we're saying. So what?
Well, because you're trying to fire me, and I want to work at this company.
I'm the CEO of this company. If I'm talking, don't interrupt me. And I am telling you this is what's happening, and you're telling me that I'm wrong. I am not wrong. I've made the decision. Here, we will take care of.
I appreciate that. Can I please have a second chance?
It's not.
Just, if I'm getting paid, just let me come in and let me try to be coachable. If Hoodie changes his mind, can I? And I've been trying to get to this point of working on MrBeast for a long time. I think there are other people at the company. If I were to switch departments, that would be very happy to have me. I don't care about the salary.
It's not what happened.
One of the most interesting parts of the interview was when Oompaville asked MrBeast if he was planning on taking legal action against Dogpack for the 3 videos he posted.
You know, there's tons of examples of him intentionally manipulating things to not be true and posting it online. Tons and tons and tons of that. Soggy has basically an hour and 27-minute video, and an hour of it is just flat out proving manipulation and lies, and caused a lot of harm to my businesses. I mean, I've literally had people pull out millions of dollars and then tell me it was directly because of his video. Don't worry, I instantly was like, can you send that in writing? So, you know, if I win a case or anything, I can directly point damages. No reason why. And so, I mean, just unfortunate. Like, I don't want to be put in this situation, but probably gonna have to.
According to MrBeast, these videos weren't just inaccurate, they were intentionally manipulative and designed to harm his reputation and businesses.
You know, just causing harm to your business and like getting it to the point where you might have to potentially fire people because it's costing you so much revenue. It's like, it's not fair to the people in my companies, you know what I mean? It's just sad, you know? It's not a thing I take joy in, but yeah.
MrBeast revealed that he has consulted with several law firms, all of whom have advised him that a lawsuit against Dogpack 404 would be an easy win. However, MrBeast remains conflicted about moving forwards, understanding the potential negative PR impact such a lawsuit could have on his channel.
Every law firm I've talked to, they're like, this will be the easiest win they've ever seen in their life. I mean, it's like crazy. I had one tell me like, you could chop up all the evidence into like 3, sue 3 separate times and win all 3 cases because you'd have enough for each. Like, one person I was talking to, he's won like 67 out of his last 70 cases, and he's like, this would be literally the easiest case I've ever done. Like, it's because there's just so much blatant, you know, misinformation and lies spread. Like,
MrBeast also explained that his main concern isn't about silencing criticism, but rather protecting his employees and companies. He believes that allowing false claims going unchecked could set a dangerous precedent and harm the people who rely on his business.
Because like, I can't look at someone in the eyes and go, sorry, you're getting laid off because he decided to keep spreading misinformation about us. You know, go complain to Dogpack.
I understand. It's like there's a.
This is bigger than me. I have a lot of people, a lot of families, a lot of kids that, you know, work or are under, you know, the people I employ that work for me. Like, it's not just me.
Jimmy also pointed to documented proof of the financial harm caused by Dogpack 404's claims, stating that his businesses have already lost millions of dollars as a result of the videos. During this part of the interview, MrBeast would also go off at Oompaville when he stated he believed Dogpack had good intentions with his initial video, saying that he got completely manipulated.
You know, in the very beginning, I thought Soggy had good intentions.
Or
Dogpack, exactly, yeah. Soggy does have good intentions, in my opinion. In the very beginning, and now things obviously are, he's turned this into sort of his thing.
Good intentions, even though even the very first video literally was, what, 90% lies?
It seemed.
Oh, you got manipulated,
yeah,
but
of course, yeah.
That doesn't make it good intentions.
yeah, I'm just saying it seemed, and a lot of people also believe that.
Was it good intentions when he photoshopped a fake live stream and falsely accused me of not saying something I did say and falsely accused something? It was a good intentions when he put a king-size Feastables bar beside a regular-size Hershey's bar and didn't disclose that and then lied about us having more sugar than them. Was it? I mean, I could sit here and do this for the next 30 minutes.
I understand.
I think that's just a misconception that everyone has. It's like, there's never good intentions.
Yeah, of course, but I'm just...
I watched that video and I was like, this is just lies, and everyone's like, oh my god. I was like, what?
That being, I think writing off Dogpack's entire video is unreasonable, as he did have several valid criticisms of MrBeast, such as his encouragement of gambling with his slot machine Feastables giveaway, as well as the first illegal lottery he held years prior. MrBeast also addressed the growing concerns about Lunchly, his food brand, following accusations of moldy products and rumors of a recall. The controversy around Lunchly began when several individuals, including YouTuber Rosanna Pansino, posted about receiving moldy Lunchly products. This sparked widespread claims that the product line had been recalled due to quality issues. MrBeast directly addressed these accusations, confirming that there was no recall of Lunchly products. He explained that every product containing meat or cheese undergoes inspection by the USDA before it leaves the factory.
Well, there was no recall. I mean, that's been said, which, again, it's like, so annoying. It's the disinformation, man, because that makes it seem like there's an actual serious problem. Oh, we're recalling Lunchlys, and there's a sign that, you know, I think Logan even did a video, if you want to throw up, where he like went to the store and that just wasn't real. That like someone put on like a door that said Lunchly has been recalled when the shelves are empty by the FDA, which was just a made up thing. Yeah, on the mold thing, here's the thing. We, every single Lunchly with cheese meat is USDA inspected. There is no mold when it leaves our factory. Like, we have the highest QC standards imaginable. Like, what do we have? Why would we ship that out? Like, that doesn't even make sense.
MrBeast also pointed out that mold is not unique to Lunchly, as it's a common issue across the prepackaged food industry. He cited thousands of similar reports involving other brands, including Lunchly's competitors.
It's just, the thing is, here's a context a lot of people leave out. Look at, I don't want to name specific brands but take a specific brand that comes into your mind when you think of something like Lunchly, something that's very similar, specific brand, I don't know, other brands, competitors, and Google their name and put the word mold behind it. You'll see thousands upon thousands of examples. And that, I think, is a key context a lot of people leave out in this, because they're acting like this is just a thing with us. Once it leaves your factory, you know, a truck that's delivery. It could technically take a sharp turn in a box fall and puncture the seal, or honestly, even something as dumb as like when it's put on the shelves at the store. Like, I can't stop someone from walking to Walmart and grabbing a lunch lid, going to the potato chip aisle, putting it there, and then like a day later, an employee going, that doesn't belong there, and put it back. And like, I mean, obviously they shouldn't do that. They should throw it away. Of
course.
But like, so there's no mold when it leaves their factories, because that's just stupid. Why would we ever let that happen? But after that point, you know, there are variables that we just can't control. And that's why every single product in that section, Google today put mold behind it.
He also stressed that while these occurrences are rare, they take each report seriously and are constantly working to improve.
But we're talking like, I mean, it's moving over 1 million units a week right now. And I'm seeing like maybe a couple examples here and there. So it's like, it's really, they would have you convinced this is like, it probably
comes with mold.
Yeah, exactly. When you're talking about very rare, and it's like, I bet you if you trace most of those cases, it'd be things like, oh, someone just like, I mean, it could even be like someone's refrigerator cut out, or they like, when they put it in their car, they like threw it in their car, and then like, you know what I mean? Like, they're just, I can't control these things, you know what I mean?
MrBeast would also address the lawsuits and rumors surrounding his upcoming Amazon Prime series, Beast Games. The yet-to-be-released game show Beast Games has already sparked backlash, with accusations ranging from unsafe working conditions to unfair labor practices. 5 anonymous contestants involved in the production filed a lawsuit claiming unsafe conditions on set. Additionally, online rumors alleged, quote, dozens of broken bones and non-union labor used to cut costs. When addressing these claims, MrBeast explained that he is unable to comment on the lawsuit itself due to ongoing litigation, but firmly denied specific allegations. Jimmy also refuted the claim that, quote, dozens of broken bones occurred, stating that his team contacted every contestant involved and found no evidence to support the accusation.
So I learned a lot of little things like that, but I think in general, a lot of it has just been blown out of proportion. Like, people have claimed like we didn't use unions because I didn't want to pay people fair money, when that was just a flat out lie. We did use unions, and like that there are dozens of broken bones, and which is like crazy to think that I'd be like, oh, 10 people broke their bones, let's keep filming, you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't even make sense. After like that claim came out, like we literally called 1,950 contestants of the 2,000. We couldn't get a hold of all 2,000. I couldn't find a single broken bone. Yeah, online it's being claimed there's dozens. I mean, there's so much misinformation, even disinformation like that being spread.
MrBeast also explained that the scale of the Beast Games created unprecedented logistical challenges. With 2,000 contestants, the largest number ever for a game show, unexpected issues arose during filming. One major disruption occurred when the CrowdStrike incident caused airports across the country to shut down, leaving contestants and production scrambling to manage travel and accommodation. Another issue involved a contestant who experienced discomfort due to an allergy to the provided feminine hygiene products. MrBeast took accountability and expressed regret about the situation, explaining that the individual she told did not alert the appropriate staff about her allergy.
When we were filming, we had obviously tons of feminine care products and stuff like that, but there was one woman who was allergic to the feminine care products, and we didn't have allergen-free ones like tampons and pads. And she told someone, I don't know who she told, I haven't been able to find it, but I mean, I believe that she did, that she was allergic, and they didn't obviously do the logical thing, which is tell us, or just drive to a local Walmart and buy some and give it to her. And so she wasn't able to get, you know, feminine care products in a reasonable amount of time, which is unacceptable.
There was also another issue regarding the $2,000 payments given to eliminated contestants, which critics suggested was hush money to discourage participants from speaking out. MrBeast denied this, explained that the payments were intended as a thank you gesture for their participation, and not linked to any paperwork.
We gave everyone who showed up, you could literally show up and then a second later leave and receive $2,000, which with 2,000 contestants, that's $4 million.
Yeah.
And we told everyone they were gonna get $0. This is something like, you know, this is the damned if you do, damned if you don't. So we told everyone, no guaranteed money if you show up. I'm glad you asked this. No guaranteed money if you show up. Like, you could walk away with $0. But then I wanted to surprise everyone. Gave them each $2,000, $4 million, which it's a lot of money. I could have gone and just bought a mansion instead of doing that. But what's even crazier is then people tried to, not like the contestants, but the internet and, you know, their theories, tried to frame that as hush money. Like I gave them all $2,000 to like make them happy because we didn't tell them beforehand, like to surprise them. as they got eliminated. And then people are like, you just did that because of hush money. And I'm like, what does that even mean?
While MrBeast described the allegations regarding the Beast games as exaggerated, he also acknowledged that improvements could have been made and took a level of accountability that everyone was waiting for. Towards the end of the interview, Oompaville would ask MrBeast how he feels and how he could have responded to the allegations more appropriately.
You already know what I'm about to say. We've hit it a couple of times. I wish right after we dropped the results of that investigation, I could talk a couple weeks ago. I wish I just instantly did this. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cold. The thing is, I've just never been in a controversy like this before, so.
The way MrBeast handled the allegations and his response in general made the whole situation a lot worse for him. He would even be called out on Twitter by Soggy Cereal, a creator who made a video targeting Dogpack and exposing his lies. Soggy was upset that MrBeast DM'd his video to a variety of creators, myself included, and Jimmy seemingly admits that it wasn't the greatest thing to do.
How do you interpret his responses on Twitter if you've seen them? Have you seen them?
Yeah, I've seen them.
Okay.
I mean, I interpret as him just trying to be honest with his audience and just expressing how he feels. And I think, obviously he probably, in his head, if he was even being more honest, he'd probably be like, Jimmy, why don't you just say these things? Why am I saying it? And I think, obviously, now that I'm here and doing this, that will alleviate it. But I can see how it feels. Like, obviously, I saw that video and it, disproved. I mean, there are some things in there I don't agree with, and he does go pretty hard on me, so which people seem to forget. But there are a lot of things in there that he disproved, and yeah, I mean, I got excited and shot it over to a bunch of creators who covered the false information, and was just like, look, I could see how, that looks like I'm hiding behind it. Luckily, I'm here talking to you, so
yeah.
I don't think that will be a problem anymore. But obviously, he's not, when he tweeted that, he, doesn't know we were doing this, doesn't know this is coming out. I mean, he might now, I don't, you talk to him, but yeah, so like, I don't blame him. You know what I mean? It's a reasonable thing. Like, I think if I were to read a little between lines, he's just saying like, I don't want to be a shield. Jimmy, say something. You know what I mean? Like, actually go address things.
From the Delaware controversy to the allegations of CGI, insider trading, and unsafe work conditions, MrBeast's interview with Oompaville wasn't perfect, but it did mention a lot of the main issues he was being criticized for. While he clarified many points and disproved several allegations, some major topics were notably absent from the conversation. One example is a CSAM claims where Dogpack alleged that inappropriate material was shared in MrBeast's work group chats. These claims were debunked when the so-called CSAM image was revealed to be a legitimate magazine cover featuring Ivanka Trump at the age of 18, but MrBeast himself did not directly discuss this during the interview. Similar to this, the Lakoya Hill situation, where a HR investigation resulted in his temporary reassignment before returning to the team, and the allegations involving James Warren were also unmentioned. While most of these claims have been discredited, leaving them out of the discussion entirely creates a gap in his transparency. At the heart of the issue is MrBeast's approach to accountability. While he has taken steps to address some controversies, he often responds in a way that feels calculated and corporate, distancing himself from the genuine connection his audience once felt. Cease and desist letters, third-party investigations, and vague public statements come off as damage control rather than true accountability. MrBeast has built an empire, but with great power comes great responsibility. It's clear that he has failed to live up to the standards his audience and the platform expects, and his unwillingness to directly confront certain criticisms or take meaningful responsibility leaves a shadow over his reputation. At the end of the day, MrBeast isn't just a YouTuber anymore. He's a brand, a business, and a public figure. And while it's easy to dismiss criticism as jealousy or sensationalism, there are real legitimate concerns that he needs to address. Until then, his reputation will be damaged forever. Make sure you subscribe because I'm releasing another video on MrBeast going into the accusations, the allegations, and the evidence very soon, as the situation still isn't as it seems.